हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस। आप सभी का स्वागत है अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस में। वी आर गोइंग टू decode द डेली न्यूज एनालिसिस फ्रॉम द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर फॉर 29 अक्टूबर 2020। आज हम 29 अक्टूबर 2020 का द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस इसका करने वाले हैं एंड ऑल्सो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस सम मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स एंड वी आर गोइंग टू गिव यू एज होमवर्क अ मेंस रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो। आज की क्लास में आपको एक मेंस से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन भी मिलेगा, तो आज आपको बहुत केयरफुली क्लास को अटेंड करना है ताकि आप मेंस रिलेटेड होमवर्क क्वेश्चन अपने आप आंसर कर सको। ठीक है, सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी सिंसियर एंड वेरी सीरियस while attending this class so that you can easily attempt the mains related question that I am going to give you as homework. Okay, now the PDF of the lecture will be available on the Telegram channel. You might be wondering, ma'am, in every class you are repeating the same thing. PDF will be available on Telegram channel. We know it, move on, right? But this information is for those students who are new on this platform, who are for the first time watching this class. Okay, तो ये information उन सभी बच्चों के लिए है जो कि पहली बार ये क्लास देख रहे हैं, ताकि उन्हें पता चल सके कि क्लास नोट्स भी अवेलेबल है। ठीक है, चलो, before starting the class, one small announcement for all of you. Like always, Unacademy Plus has started the free class special series Fundamentals of UPSC CSE Preparation by Abhishek Saraf Sir, All India Rank 8 UPSC CSE 2019. Abhishek Saraf Sir All India Rank 8 रहे हैं UPSC CSE 2019 में। इन्होंने फ्री लेक्चर्स अपलोड किए हैं स्ट्रैटेजी से रिलेटेड। He has uploaded free lectures related to strategy. How he cleared essay, how you can write essays like a pro, how you can crack interview at one go, and how you can score 460 plus in general studies paper in mains examination, how to solve CSAT, how to do the CSAT preparation, how to do the preparation for prelims paper 1, what is the trend of UPSC question paper, etc. So you can watch all his lectures for free now. इनके सभी lectures Unacademy Plus पर free of cost available हैं. The link is given below in the description box. नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में आपको इन सभी लेक्चर्स का लिंक मिल जाएगा, उस पर क्लिक करेंगे तो इनके सभी लेक्चर स्ट्रैटेजी बेस्ड आप देख सकते हैं। एंड ही हैज क्लियर्ड ऑल द डाउट्स ऑफ यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स। सारे डाउट्स क्लियर हुए हैं इस लेक्चर में। ठीक है, सो द लिंक इज गिवन बिलो इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स। दीज आर फ्री क्लासेस, डू गो एंड चेक आउट। लेट्स स्टार्ट द डिकोडिंग शुरू कर देते हैं। द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, 20% रूरल स्टूडेंट्स लैक बुक्स। सो अबाउट 20% ऑफ द रूरल स्टूडेंट्स they have no textbooks at home according to annual state of education report survey which was conducted in the month of September. राइट, अब हुआ क्या है कि स्कूल क्लोज हुए सितंबर में, 6 महीने हो गए थे कोविड-19 के वजह से। तो सितंबर में ये ASER का सर्वे हुआ जिसके मुताबिक ये पता चला कि अप्रोक्सीमेटली 20% रूरल चिल्ड्रन ऐसे हैं जिनके पास किताबें ही नहीं है घर में पढ़ने के लिए। Right, so in Andhra Pradesh, less than 35% of children had textbooks and only 60% had textbooks in Rajasthan. More than 98% had textbooks in West Bengal, Nagaland and Assam. In the week of the survey, about 1 in 3 rural children had done no learning activity at all. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, why this news is important for us? What do we have to study? This news is important from two perspectives. First is education, impact of COVID-19 lockdown and closure of schools on education, and second is prelims. ये जो न्यूज है ये आपके लिए दो पर्सपेक्टिव से इंपॉर्टेंट है। पहला तो GSM 2 में आपको क्वेश्चन आ सकता है या इंटरव्यू में क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि लॉकडाउन की वजह से, कोविड-19 पैंडेमिक के स्कूल क्लोजर्स की वजह से एजुकेशन पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है, हाउ दी स्टूडेंट्स हैव बीन अफेक्टेड और इम्पैक्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ दी स्कूल क्लोजर्स. Right, they can ask you this question in interview also and in GSM 2 also, because education topic is in the GSM 2 syllabus, right? And they can ask for prelims about annual state of education report survey. What is it? Who conducts this survey? What is the aim of this survey? Right? So this, or the key findings of the survey. This question can come in prelims. अब ASER के ऊपर आ जाता है prelims में question, और mains paper 2 में education से related question आ जाएगा. So in this survey, in the 2020 survey, it was conducted via the phone calls, reaching 52,227 rural households with school-age children in 30 states and union territories. This survey provides glimpse into levels of learning loss that students in rural India are suffering. Rural India में सर्वे में ये पता चलता है कि स्टूडेंट्स लर्निंग लॉस कितना उनको हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, बिकॉज ऑफ फैमिली रिसोर्स, बिकॉज ऑफ डिजिटल डिवाइड इन एजुकेशन. हाउ मच इम्पैक्ट, नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट द is falling upon these rural children in the rural India, right? This is mapped by the ASER survey. ये ASER survey का एम होता है कि रूरल इंडिया में टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से, फैमिली रिसोर्सेज की वजह से, स्कूल एक्सेस की वजह से कितना स्टूडेंट्स लॉस में है रूरल इंडिया में. ठीक है, इतनी बात समझ आ गई सबको. नाउ व्हाट आर द की फाइंडिंग्स ऑफ दिस सर्वे? इन आंध्र प्रदेश less than 35% of children had textbooks. मतलब आंध्र प्रदेश में ना 35% से कम बच्चे थे जिनके पास बुक्स थी. एंड ओनली 60% had textbooks in राजस्थान. राजस्थान में तो सिर्फ 60% बच्चे थे जिनके पास बुक्स थी. More than 98% had textbooks in West Bengal, Nagaland and Assam. Now here a positive impact has been seen कि वेस्ट बंगाल, नागालैंड और आसाम में 98% से ज्यादा बच्चों के पास किताबें थी, राइट? ड्यूरिंग द सर्वे वीक अबाउट 1 in 3 रूरल चिल्ड्रन हैड डन नो लर्निंग एक्टिविटी एट ऑल इन दिस लॉकडाउन. रूरल चिल्ड्रन के अगर हम बात करें तो 3 रूरल चिल्ड्रन है ना अगर, तो उनमें से सिर्फ एक था जिसने कोई लर्निंग एक्टिविटी नहीं करी. दैट मीन्स वन चाइल्ड हैड नो एक्सेस टू एजुकेशन. दैट इज very very wrong. That is very you can say an alerting situation. About 2 in 3 had no learning material or activity given by their school, and only 1 in 10 had access to live online classes. Only 1. 10 में से सिर्फ एक ही लाइव क्लासेस देख पा रहा था. This is a serious problem which has started cropping up now. Despite the level of smartphone ownership having almost doubled from 2018, a third of children with smartphone access also did not receive any learning materials. Right? That is the loophole on the part of school. ये तो स्कूल की भी गलती हुई इधर. ठीक है? So these are the findings. Now let us understand about ASER. ASER is a nationwide survey of rural education and learning outcomes in terms of reading and arithmetic skills. तो ये नेशन वाइड सर्वे होता है. रूरल एजुकेशन को मैप किया जाता है, लर्निंग आउटकम्स चेक किए जाते हैं कि कितना बच्चा पढ़ रहा है, कितना उसके एनालिटिकल स्किल्स डेवलप हुए हैं. एंड इट इज कंडक्टेड बाय एनजीओ प्रथम. अंडरलाइन दिस अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट फॉर योर प्रीलिम्स. फॉर द लास्ट 15 years it has been conducted, and this year the survey was conducted via the phone calls. So you can say that it might be possible that few students were left out. ऐसा हो सकता है कि कुछ स्टूडेंट्स इस सर्वे से बाहर भी हो गए हो, क्योंकि फोन कॉल से आप कितना एक्सेस कर सकते हो, राइट? व्हाट वर द की findings or impact of COVID-19 pandemic which were found in the survey? So about 20% of rural children have no textbooks at home. 20% रूरल बच्चे ऐसे हैं जिनके पास कोई टेक्स्ट बुक्स नहीं है घरों में. In Andhra Pradesh, less than 35% children had textbooks. Please remember the number, okay, and the state. And more than 98% had textbooks in West Bengal, Nagaland and Assam. In week of the survey, about 1 in 3 rural children had done no learning activity. 3% of rural children aged 6 to 10 years had not yet enrolled in school this year, compared to 1.8% in 2018. So number has increased. That is a very serious condition. And enrollment patterns also show a slight shift toward government schools, with private schools seeing a drop in enrollment in all age groups. Now what kind of question they can ask you in your mains? किस तरीके का question आ सकता है GSM 2 में? The question can be, how COVID-19 pandemic has affected rural education? Discuss in the light of latest ASER survey report. तो लेटेस्ट ASER सर्वे रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक ये बताइए कि कोविड-19 पैंडेमिक के कारण रूरल एजुकेशन कितना अफेक्ट हुआ है, कितना उस पर असर पड़ा है. Now you will be in a position to answer the question. Start with highlighting what is ASER survey report, what is it, what is its aim. Then start with the effect of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on education and the reasons why it has impacted rural education so much. Okay. Now going on to the next important current affair, government green lights green firecrackers this year. So Environment Minister Gopal Rai on Wednesday said that only green firecrackers can be manufactured, sold and used in the national capital, with Delhi government scheduled to launch an anti-firecracker campaign on November 3, which will continue even in Diwali. So you all know every year this happens. Every year green crackers की बात की जाती है to control pollution, to bring down the level of pollution which is caused because of the crackers burnt during Diwali festival. So Delhi is set for its full-fledged debut with green crackers for Diwali. Now here this news is again important for two perspective, GS paper 3 and prelims. ये news भी दो perspective से important है, GS पेपर 3 और प्रीलिम्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से. सो नाउ ग्रीन क्रैकर्स, लेट अस फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज ग्रीन क्रैकर्स. देखो 2019 में ये कहा गया था कि सिर्फ ग्रीन क्रैकर्स ही अलाउ किए जाएंगे दीपावली के दौरान, राइट, बट इट कुड नॉट बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड ऑन अ लार्ज स्केल, बट नाउ it is being said that now green crackers will be used during Deepavali. So what are green crackers? होते क्या है ये? They are less harmful and less dangerous than the conventional ones, and they are the crackers with reduced emission and decibel level. Decibel means जो sound level होता है वो भी कम होगा इसमें और emission level भी कम होगा. They are known as green firecrackers because they have a chemical formulation that produces water molecules which substantially reduces emission levels and absorbs the dust. That is why they are being permitted during Deepavali now. Now basically as UPSC aspirants you all must be ensuring that no crackers are burnt during Deepavali festival by your relatives or by your friends or family members, right? But we need to empower and we need to explain the other people around us about the use of green crackers and about the importance of lighting green crackers instead of the conventional ones, right? Because green crackers now they promise a reduction in particulate matters, that is the PM, and harmful gases. The green crackers will be 25-30% cheaper to manufacture, and manufacturers would not have to make any change in their facilities to manufacture these crackers. Now, what gives the colors to firecrackers? Question on this was asked in prelims. Previous year question paper अगर आप देखेंगे तो question पूछा गया है कि ये जो आप पटाखे फोड़ते हो ना, रेड कलर निकलता है, ऑरेंज कलर निकलता है, ब्लू कलर निकलता है, तो ये किस वजह से निकलता है, राइट? Whenever you burn crackers, you must have noticed that there are different colors which are emitted from the crackers. Why these colors are coming out? The red color because of strontium salts, that is the nitrates, carbonates, sulfates of strontium. Orange color is emitted in the crackers because of calcium salts. Yellow color sodium salts. Green color barium salts. Blue color copper salts. Purple color combination of copper and strontium compounds, and white color burning of metals like magnesium, aluminium and titanium, because of which you can see white color while bursting the crackers. Okay, so this is very very important. You have to remember this anyhow. आप इसको रोज रिवाइज कर सकते हो. Next important news, HSRPs will now be home delivered, says government. So the high security registration plates will now be delivered to commuters. Right, now here it is important for prelims. What are the high security registration plates? And for GSM3 they can ask you what are the advantages of high security number plates. ठीक है, तो ये दो पर्सपेक्टिव से इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका. मेंस के पर्सपेक्टिव से एडवांटेज पूछ लेंगे, प्रीलिम्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से आपसे नॉर्मली पूछेंगे कि ये है क्या. सो हाई सिक्योरिटी नंबर प्लेट्स, they are made of aluminium and come with reflective tapes. The plates are temper proof. That means you cannot छेड़छाड़ नहीं कर सकते. You cannot try to temper them. They are equipped with chromium based and self destructive hologram which is hot stamped on the plate. In addition, a sticker on the plate carries all the essential details including vehicle's engine and chassis number and laser branding of 10-digit permanent identification number as well, right? So that is why it's very important, this plate high security registration plate. ठीक है, तो ये कलर कोडेड स्टिकर इसमें लगाया जाता है, तो कंज्यूमर्स को ना रियल टाइम अपडेट अपने व्हीकल का मिलता रहता है एसएमएस के थ्रू. ठीक है, नाउ व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज? With the use of high security plate throughout the country, details about the car, engine and chassis number will be stored in the national database. So in case of any theft, any robbery, any accident, etc., you can easily identify any vehicles if they have the HSRP. ठीक है, कमिंग ऑन टू दिस एडिटोरियल, ये है एडिटोरियल आपका, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एडिटोरियल है जीएस पेपर 2 के पर्सपेक्टिव से, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, चैलेंजेस ऑफ वॉकिंग द इंडो पैसिफिक टॉक. सो दिस आर्टिकल एनालाइजेस द गोइंग ऑन क्वाड्रिलेटरल सिक्योरिटी डायलॉग एंड इंडो पैसिफिक स्ट्रैटेजी। अभी कुछ दिनों से हम पढ़ रहे हैं ना दी क्वाड्रिलेटरल स्ट्रैटेजी, सिक्योरिटी डायलॉग, इंडो पैसिफिक स्ट्रैटेजी एटसेट्रा, राइट। सो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है। रिसेंटली कंक्लूडेड थर्ड एनुअल यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स इंडिया 2+2 ministerial dialogue has amplified ongoing conversation in India on quadrilateral security dialogue and Indo-Pacific threat from China and United States as a potential alliance partner. So over here you can see that the international community has once again decided to quote New Delhi to play a decisive role in shaping region's strategic future. Right now the countries are very serious when it comes to the Indo-Pacific region because China is trying to dominate that region. We all know that, right? So it is not a solution that we let China to dominate that region. We need to cooperate with each other, and then we need to, carry out or plan out or, charge out any strategy regarding trade in any region. One country cannot be allowed to dominate. So that is why there is a very serious talk going on in the Indo-Pacific region regarding the threat from China. Right, so the concepts and the differences have been discussed in this editorial. इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन के ना इंपॉर्टेंस को हाईलाइट किया गया है और क्या स्ट्रैटेजी यूज करके हम उस रीजन में ट्रेड कर सकते हैं, क्या मिलिट्री कंसल्टेशंस कर सकते हैं, ये डिस्कस किया गया। द इंडो पैसिफिक इज अ वेरी ग्रैंड पॉलिटिको इकोनॉमिक विजन व्हाइल द क्वाड इज अ फोरम फॉर स्ट्रैटेजिक एंड मिलिट्री कंसल्टेशंस। सो हियर कंपैरिजन बिटवीन द इंडो पैसिफिक एंड क्वाड ग्रुपिंग हैज बीन डन। ठीक है, इस एडिटोरियल में ना क्या किया है, इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन और क्वाड के बीच का कंपैरिजन किया है। इंडो पैसिफिक जो है इकोनॉमिक विजन है कि हम कैसे वहां कोऑपरेट कर सकते हैं, राइट। बट क्वाड जो ग्रुपिंग है ना वो मिलिट्री कंसल्टेशन रिगार्डिंग ग्रुपिंग है। इट्स अ ग्रुपिंग रिलेटेड टू द मिलिट्री कंसल्टेशंस अमंग इंडिया, यूएस एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड जापान। Now, depending on how one wishes to view it, they could be seen as conceptually interlinked or as separate visions also. You can conceptually link Indo-Pacific and Quad also, but separate visions के तौर पे ये separate हैं. Similarity between Quad and Indo-Pacific vision. What are the similarities now? Now we have discussed the differences. हमने difference देख लिया. The difference is that Indo-Pacific is the economic vision, quadrilateral Quad is the military consultation among 4 countries. Now, what is the similarity between the two? Similarity is that the Quad members are also major states in the Indo-Pacific region, right? Major stakeholders in the Indo-Pacific region. अगर हम quadrilateral फोरम की बात करें तो जो 4 कंट्रीज है वो Indo-Pacific region में भी उनकी उतनी ही इंपॉर्टेंस है, उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले कर रही हैं. So both Quad and the Indo-Pacific they focus on China only, right? And more so they are also in some ways centered around India's geographic location as well. इंडिया तो है वो मध्य में आ ही जाता है, सेंटर में आ ही जाता है दोनों ही के विजन्स में. So put differently, if you take China out of equation, they would have little rationale for existence because basically both the platforms are trying to make sure that China doesn't dominate the region. So, and if you take India out of the picture, their ability to sustain would drastically diminish because both the regions are centered around India only. So, India and China are the key people or key countries or nations around which everything is revolving right now. ठीक है. Now let us understand the differences between Quad and Indo-Pacific vision. दोनों के विजन में डिफरेंस देखते हैं क्या है. At the same time, Indo-Pacific and Quad are also quite different from each other. First is a politico, that is Indo-Pacific is a politico-economic vision, and Quad is a military strategic vision. The last does not form the military or strategic nucleus of the first. Both are different. एक economic vision है तो एक military specific vision है. ठीक है. आगे बढ़ते हैं. While the Indo-Pacific provides complex political and economic picture with hesitant but growing articulation of China as strategic challenge, Quad is inherently more anti-China in character, right? So basically जो first आपका Indo-Pacific जो है वो एक इकोनॉमिक पिक्चर क्लियर कट बनाता है कि भाई चाइना किस तरीके से आर्टिकुलेट चाइना को किया जा रहा है, चाइना किस तरीके से ग्रो कर रहा है, उस हिसाब से हम अपनी पॉलिसीज को ग्रो करवाएं. बट जो कोड है ना वो एंटी चाइना है, बिल्कुल डायरेक्टली वो चाइना के डोमिनेंस के खिलाफ ही बना हुआ है. ठीक है. Now, Indo-Pacific, despite the subtle anti-China undertones, will find it impossible to avoid engaging China. It's an economic vision. But Quad, right, still in its institutional infancy, is mostly focused on diplomatic signaling, right? So this is the basic difference between Quad and Indo-Pacific region. Now, Indo-Pacific vision and the Belt and Road Initiative of China. Let us compare both the platforms. Now it's too early to say whether the Indo-Pacific as an economic construct will be able to pose as an alternative to China's BRI. BRI is very advanced. बहुत सालों से BRI के ऊपर काम चल रहा है, तो अभी कहना बहुत मुश्किल होगा कि Indo-Pacific BRI को काउंटर कर सकता है, right या नहीं. On the flip side, BRI is a Chinese project and is already under immense stress from its inherent weaknesses because of China's one-sided pursuit of BRI and the associated economic burdens on the states that are signing up to it, right? But several Indo-Pacific countries are already the members of BRI. So let's see, it's too early to comment on that. Coming on to the next important news, ISRO to launch satellite EOS-01 on November 7. Now this is very very important for prelims. ये आपके prelims के लिए बहुत important है, ठीक है? तो इसको please make sure कि आप इसको note down कर रहे हो. Now, ISRO has announced that India would launch EOS-01 and 9 international customer spacecraft. The customer satellites are being launched under a commercial agreement with New Space India Limited, Department of Space. The launch would be made on board Polar Rocket PSLV C-49 from the spaceport of Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. This is the first launch by ISRO after the COVID-19 lockdown. राइट सो हम EOS का ना लाइव टेलीकास्ट होगा इस लॉन्च का. इट विल बी अवेलेबल ऑन ISRO's वेबसाइट एंड यूट्यूब, फेसबुक एंड ट्विटर चैनल्स ऑफ ISRO. Now what is EOS-01? It's an Earth observation satellite and it is intended for applications in agriculture, forestry and disaster management support. Earth observation satellites are the satellites which are equipped with remote sensing technology. अर्थ ऑब्जर्वेशन सैटेलाइट्स कौन से सैटेलाइट्स होते हैं जिसमें रिमोट सेंसिंग टेक्नोलॉजी होती है. अर्थ ऑब्जर्वेशन इज द गैदरिंग ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट अर्थ फिजिकल, केमिकल एंड बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम्स. ओके, अर्थ ऑब्जर्वेशन मीन्स ऊपर से ना अर्थ के फिजिकल, केमिकल एंड बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम्स को इंफॉर्मेशन उसके ऊपर निकाली जाती है, उसके हिसाब से आगे एप्लीकेशंस बनाए जाते हैं. एंड मेनी अर्थ ऑब्जर्वेशन सैटेलाइट्स हैव बीन एम्प्लॉयड ऑन सन सिंक्रोनस ऑर्बिट आल्सो. ओके, now the 9 customer satellites which will be launched, they are also being launched as a part of commercial agreement that we have signed up with NSIL, that is New Space India Limited, Department of Space. It was incorporated in 2019. It's a wholly owned government of India company under DOS, that is Department of Space. It's a commercial arm of ISRO with primary responsibility of enabling Indian industries to take up high technology space related activities. So what are the major business areas of NSIL? NSIL के major business areas क्या हैं? Production of PSLV and SSLV through industry, production and marketing of space-based services, building of satellites, transferring the technologies developed by ISRO, and marketing spin-off technologies, providing consultancy services to ISRO and other companies. These are the major business areas of NSIL, which was incorporated in the year 2019. Now what is PSLV? ये भी पढ़ लेते हैं, प्रीलिम्स के लिए ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्वेश्चन इन 2017 और 16 केम इन PSLV प्रीलिम्स, ठीक है, तो आपको ये पढ़ना ही है किसी भी हालत में. GSLV and PSLV. PSLV, it is third generation launch vehicle. It is the first launch vehicle which is equipped with liquid stages. Its first successful launch was in October 1994. It was used for 2 of the most important missions, Chandrayaan-1 and the Mars Orbiter spacecraft in 2013. GSLV की अगर हम बात करें, the GSLV Mark II and Mark III are other 2 launch vehicles. GSLV Mark III is the largest launch vehicle developed by India, and Mark III, ये तो Mark II की बात हो गई. Mark III chosen to launch Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft, 3-stage heavy lift launch vehicle developed by ISRO. Coming on to the next important topic, UK to partner for developing GIFT City funding infrastructure pipeline. So United Kingdom has entered into strategic partnership to develop India's fledgling International Financial Services Center GIFT City and agreed to set up a new fund of funds to be managed by State Bank of India Group in order to route the UK's future capital investments into India. India and UK also signed off on a new infrastructure finance and policy partnership to help India execute its national infrastructure pipeline. So the news is, first of all, let's understand what is GIFT City. UK ने ना क्या किया है, इंडिया के गिफ्ट सिटी को डेवलप करने के लिए एक स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप में इंडिया के साथ एंटर किया है. What is GIFT? GIFT is गुजरात इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंस टेक सिटी. which is India's first international financial service center, which is located in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. So at the 10th Economic and Financial Dialogue, which was concluded between UK and India, they have signed a new infrastructure finance and policy partnership. Why? To help India so that India can execute the national infrastructure pipeline. The UK has also agreed to set up a new fund of funds to be managed by State Bank of India, right, in order to channelize UK's future capital investment. So स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया क्या करेगी, यूके के द्वारा सेटअप किए गए फंड ऑफ फंड्स को मैनेज करेगी. इस फंड ऑफ फंड्स के थ्रू ही यूके की जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट होगी वो इंडिया में चैनलाइज होगी, इंडिया में आएगी. It provides an opportunity to drive international capital flow from London to India. So you have to remember the highlighted areas जो मैंने मार्क किए हैं, ठीक है. So bilateral trade between India and UK stood up at $24 billion in 2019. India is now the second largest project investment source for the UK. Underline this please. इसको please underline कर लीजिए. The last important news, parliamentary panel asked Twitter for affidavit on geotagging glitch. So the Joint Committee of Parliament on Data Protection Bill ये आपका important है GSM 3 के लिए, ठीक है, and prelims के लिए भी. It has sought an affidavit from Twitter Incorporation asking them to explain why it had shown Ladakh as a part of China. Twitter ने क्या किया है, लद्दाख को ना चाइना का पार्ट दिखाया है. That is wrong. So Joint Committee of Parliament ने एक affidavit भेजा है, right, कि भाई आप रीजन बताओ क्यों आपने लद्दाख को चाइना का पार्ट शो किया है. The representatives of Twitter India apologized and claimed it to be a mistake as the app's geotagging had suffered a technical glitch. So Twitter has responded by saying that we are facing some glitch, technical glitch, because of which this mistake occurred. Okay, so chairperson of the panel said that displaying Indian map improperly and incorrectly is also an offence, जिसकी वजह से it attracts imprisonment of 7 years. 7 years की सजा हो जाती है. आपने जो गलती की है उसके पीछे का रीजन बताओ. ये टेक्निकल ग्लिच बोलकर इससे आप भाग नहीं सकते, right? So this was today's Hindu news analysis. I hope you enjoyed today's class. I hope आपको आज की क्लास अच्छी लगी हो. Also do not forget to enroll in the free special C class series presented by Abhishek Saraf sir, All India Rank 8 UPSC CSE 2019.